Silence. It is often misunderstood, often feared, and yet when mastered it can become the most powerful weapon of attraction you will ever possess. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever noticed how some men can walk into a room, say almost nothing, and yet every eye shifts toward them? It's not their words that captivate, it's their presence, their energy, their unshakable confidence that makes others lean in. That is the silent move that drives people crazy. And if you learn how to trigger deep attraction without saying much, you will unlock a level of power most men only dream about. Because in the world of dating psychology, it's not always what you say that matters, it's who you are when you say nothing at all. Most men believe that attraction is about clever lines, about rehearsed charm, about filling every silence with words to avoid awkwardness. But here's the truth: real attraction is built in the quiet moments. It is built in the pauses, in the way you hold eye contact, in the way you sit back with calm control when everyone else rushes to impress. Deep attraction begins when your silence speaks louder than another man's words. And that's the psychology I want to share with you today. Because once you understand it, you'll never chase the same way again. You'll draw people in effortlessly. Subscribe our channel Next Gen Emotive, because what I am about to share with you will not just change how you approach dating, but how you approach life, confidence, and success itself. Now here's something shocking. People are not attracted to what they fully understand. They're attracted to mystery, to curiosity, to the unknown. And what creates more mystery than silence? When you say less, you force others to lean forward, to wonder what's on your mind, to fill the space with their imagination. And imagination is always more powerful than explanation. Think about it when you watch a suspense movie. The scariest moments aren't when the monster is on the screen, it's when you don't see it, but you know it's there. That anticipation, that pull is exactly what silence does in attraction. But silence alone isn't enough, because if your silence comes from insecurity, from fear, from awkwardness, it won't attract, it will repel. The key is this: your silence must be grounded in power. Your body language, your eyes, your energy must carry the weight of a man who knows his worth, who does not need to prove himself through endless chatter. That's when silence transforms from emptiness into magnetism. Here's a bold statement: confidence is not heard, it is felt, and the less you try to prove it, the more it grows. Have you ever been around a man who didn't try to dominate a conversation, but somehow everyone paid attention to him anyway? That's because his silence carried authority. Authority doesn't beg to be noticed, it commands attention without effort. But let me challenge you here. Are you comfortable in silence, or do you feel the urge to fill it? That discomfort is your biggest enemy, because the man who cannot sit with silence cannot sit with power. Imagine being on a date, and instead of rambling nervously, you lean back, smile slightly, and simply let the moment breathe. Do you know what happens? The other person begins to wonder about you. They start investing energy in you, trying to figure you out. That curiosity is the seed of deep attraction. Now let's connect this to psychology. Human beings are wired to value what they can't easily access. When you don't give everything away with words, you create scarcity, and scarcity breeds value. Silence is not emptiness, it's selective attention. It tells people, I am worth knowing, but not everyone gets the privilege of access. And when you frame your silence that way, attraction multiplies. Let me give you an example. Picture two men at a social gathering. One is desperately trying to be funny, talking louder, trying to win approval. The other is calm, observant, speaking when he chooses, but never rushing. Which one do you think leaves a deeper impression? It's the silent one. Because while one man is chasing validation, the other man is radiating self-sufficiency. And people are always drawn to the man who doesn't need the room, because that's the man the room needs. Here's a surprising truth: attraction is less about impressing and more about inspiring curiosity. When you talk too much, you kill curiosity. When you reveal too much too soon, you remove the element of discovery. But when you hold back, when you let your energy and presence speak louder than your words, you create a hunger. People want to peel back your layers, to understand what makes you tick. That hunger is what creates deep attraction. But silence must be paired with intent. Your body language becomes your voice. Your posture becomes your statement. Your eyes become your conversation. Hold eye contact just a little longer than expected. and you communicate confidence without a single word. Slow down your movements and you radiate calm control. Lean back instead of leaning forward, and you send the message, I am not here to impress. I am here to observe, to choose, to decide. That frame, silently communicated, flips the entire dynamic of attraction. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you walked into a room and didn't try to prove anything? Most men walk in scanning for approval, desperate to be liked, but the man who walks in already knowing he belongs without saying a word, becomes unforgettable. Because attraction is not about saying the right things, it's about being the right man. And when your silence is rooted in self-worth, you don't need to beg for attention, it finds you. Now let's break the pattern. Most men think silence is passive, but here's the twist. Silence is aggressive in the most powerful way. It's not retreat, it's control. It's you saying, I move when I choose, I speak when it matters, and if you want to know me you have to lean in. That's dominance without aggression. That's power without force. And that's why it drives people crazy, because it creates tension, and tension is the heartbeat of attraction. Let's go deeper. Attraction is psychological tension, the push and pull between desire and uncertainty. Too much talking dissolves tension, but measured silence builds. That's why some of the most magnetic men in history, leaders, actors, thinkers, were known less for what they said, and more for how they carried themselves when they weren't speaking. Think of men like James Dean, or even modern-day figures, whose aura is bigger than their words. Their silence wasn't weakness, it was a carefully honed strength. But here's the danger. Don't mistake silence for indifference. You must balance mystery with warmth. If your silence feels cold, you'll push people away. But if your silence is paired with presence, with genuine attention, with a calm smile, with an energy that says, I see you, I feel you, but I won't give everything away, then your silence becomes irresistible. Let me give you a personal metaphor. Imagine a flame. If you blow too hard, the flame dies. If you ignore it completely, it fades. But if you protect it with care, let it breathe, let it flicker with mystery, the flame grows brighter. That's how silence works in attraction. It's the oxygen that fuels the fire of curiosity. So how do you practice this? Start by embracing stillness in everyday life. When you're in a conversation, don't rush to fill every pause. When someone asks you a question, take a moment before answering. When you walk into a room, pause, observe, breathe before engaging. That microsecond of control sends a message. I move on my own timing. I am not rushed. I am not pressured. That's silent dominance. And here's something most men don't realize. Women are experts at reading energy. They don't just listen to your words, they feel your vibe. And silence reveals vibe more than anything else. If your silence is anxious, they feel it. If your silence is calm and grounded, they feel that too. The work is not in learning lines, it's in mastering yourself. Because once you master your inner state, silence becomes your greatest ally. But let me ask you a hard question. Are you living in alignment with the man you want to project? Because silence will expose you. You can fake confidence with words, but you cannot fake energy in silence. That's why inner work matters. Building your self-respect, your discipline, your purpose. When you carry that internally, you don't need to say much externally. Your silence then becomes a reflection of your strength, not your insecurity. And that's the final truth. Silence is not about strategy, it's about state. The silent move that drives them crazy is not silence itself, it's the man behind the silence. Are you the man who is silent because he has nothing to say, or are you the man who is silent because his presence already speaks volumes? The choice is yours. Words may impress for a moment, but presence leaves a mark forever. Master your silence, master your presence, and you will trigger attraction so deep, it goes beyond words. It becomes an experience. And that, my friend, is the psychology of true power.